Hey everyone, welcome to this week's Weekly Crop, and we got another guest this week. This is really exciting. We got Walter here from Tilta, and Walter, you've got a bunch of really cool things that you brought in for us that are brand new that I think are going to get a lot of people really excited, not just in the gimbal front, but also in the follow focus front. I'm just going to let you take the floor. Okay. Show me what you got.
So the first thing I want to show you guys with our Nucleus M, there's a couple new developments that we've come up with. So the newest firmware update, if you guys are familiar with the latest firmware update that has easy mode on it. So there's a new firmware update coming for the Nucleus M where now you can take power from the handles, from the 18650 batteries in here, and power the motors off of the handle. So using the 7-pin to 7-pin cable that's provided with the kit. So now you're able to control the motors up to 2 motors right now. We haven't tested out the third one, but the 2 is pretty solid. Yep. We have pretty good battery life on it, so it's about going from 12 hours down to 8 hours, but now you're powering solely off of the handles now.
Right. So and it's unlikely you're going to be running the unit for 8 hours straight, and so you should be able to charge overnight, no problem.
So the good thing about this is, like, if you have people that don't have maybe an option for like a gold mount or V mount battery on board their cage, then they can pull power off of the handle. Yeah. So that way you can it can keep you running, and even if you lose power off the gold mount battery, just plug straight into the handle and then you're good to go for however long you need to shoot it for.
Exactly, which is ideally designed for a situation just like this. Somebody's shooting on a DSLR and doesn't want to power off of a big gold mount, right? And so this is that often.
So this is a good option for that. A lot of new things are coming out with the Nucleus M. So we have thicker gears that you can replace this gear for. Let's say if you wanted to use like a 85 super speed, the focus gear travels a little bit, so that prevents it from coming off the gears. Right. There's other pitch gears for, let's say, ENG style zooms, like the Canon ENG style zooms with a 0.4 and 0.5 pitched gears. So we have adapters for those now. And there's a couple other options that are work well. Let's say universal gimbal adapters, if you wanted to adapt this to, let's say, your Ronin 2 or your Movi Pro. So we have different ways of adapting the Nucleus M to that. Very cool. Other new development that we have in the Nucleus line would be our new Nucleus Nano, which would be this guy right here. So we have here a Blackmagic Pocket 4K camera here with the G2X, and we have this guy right here, which is the Nucleus Nano. So this is the newest Nucleus in our line. It's a 1-to-1, so it's one motor controlled by one controller here. It's powered by the micro USB here on the back of the motor that connects into the G2X power port right here. So it's the same as the Xenu Crane that also has a micro USB power port, and we're also coming up with an adapter for the Ronin S for the 4-pin power solution that they have under the mount. You'll be able to plug that into right here into the motor and power the motor. So the motor is powered off of 5 volts going into the motor here. It's controlled by this controller here, but the good thing about the Nucleus system is that if you already have a Nucleus M, you can control this motor as well.
Oh, very cool. That's awesome. Yeah, this looks like, quite an impressive rig. How are you seeing people use it in terms of using the hand grip here, and like what are some of the different configurations?
So the good thing about our gimbal is that we have rosettes on either side of the gimbal, so any kind of rosette accessory that you already have, you can easily adapt to this. We use the wooden handle here because it has a run-stop trigger, so we have different run-stop cables for different kind of cameras. Same thing with the run-stop here on the Nano. We will have accessories, run-stop cables for the Nano that would come off the link port on the back of the motor into the camera. So everything is designed to be wireless. You can even take this mount off, and it still works as a wireless
that's amazing.
Controller.
Oh, very cool.
So this is great if you wanted to, let's say, put this on a DSLR cage or any other items. If you want to put this on a crane and still control your focus remotely, you have up to 300 feet of range with
that's incredible.
This controller.
Very, very cool. Yeah, I mean, you guys are coming out with some really amazing stuff. I know that when the Nucleus came out, it just blew up. Like everybody was, all the ACs were buying it up and all the DPs are buying it up just because it's such an incredible product at like such a phenomenal price. We've never seen anything that good at that price point before. And I think that's what Tilta does incredibly well. I want to kind of now skip into this stuff because this is the first sort of small handheld style gimbal that we've seen that can adapt to the Blackmagic Pocket Cinema camera 4K. And to be able to do that, I see that you actually have a bit of a unique design that's different than everybody else's. Tell me about like what you've achieved there.
So the good thing about our design is that the roll motor, the tilt motor, and the pan motor here are all adjustable. So let's say if you wanted this motor back here to be in the front, you can adjust that in the Tilt Assist app. Also with the tilt motor here. Usually a lot of the gimbals out there, like the Xenu Crane or the Ronin S, you would have the motor on the right side of the camera.
Correct.
And I think it's only designed to be on the right side of the camera, but with ours, you can flip it to the left side, to the right side. Either way, it will work the same way.
Yeah.
The good thing about that is that for a camera such as the Pocket 4K camera, because it's so big on one side, it's a little hard to balance it if the motor's on the right side. So that way, we give you the option of putting it on the left side, so it's way easier to balance, and you can get a much easier, smaller, compact rig that way.
Right, and I've also noticed too, it's like it's offset. Like, so normally where I find the motor is like butts up against the side of the camera, it's almost positioned a little bit far forward, it seems, or is it not positioned far forward, but it allows, this arm seems to allow you to move the camera back and forward.
Yeah.
And I guess potentially put larger lenses on.
You can. It's definitely the good thing about having the 45-degree angled motor, with which is true for all the other gimbals that have a 45-degree motor, is that you can put something a little bit longer. So if you have a zoom lens, like something a little bit longer that you wanted to throw on there, it's way easier to balance having the motor not so far behind the camera. The other good thing about it is that it doesn't obscure your view of the screen.
Yeah,
so if you wanted to see what you're shooting, you can also put this motor in the front, and you have way more accessibility to the screen. You can also do a lot more, a lot bigger moves. So going from like a high angled shot all the way down to a low mode shot in one go is one of the added benefits of our system.
Awesome, that's very cool. Well, thanks so much for taking the time to bring all this cool stuff in, and I know that this is definitely going to be a popular product for you guys. If the Nucleus N was any indication, that you guys are going to sell these like hotcakes. And that's it for this week's Weekly Crop. Thanks so much for watching, guys, and as always, please subscribe to our channel and visit vistek.ca for more information about our Tilta products and our gimbals. And for now, thanks for watching, and happy shooting.
Thanks a lot.